They towed a $42,000 Sprinter van off my land, a lot I legally leased to the HOA. No notice. No call. Just vanished. I was standing on my porch that morning, coffee in hand, when I saw the tire marks carved into my gravel lot. I thought it was stolen. Called the police. But the officer just squinted at his clipboard and muttered. Wasn't stolen. Your HOA had it towed. Said it was unauthorized. I blinked. That's my land. It took everything in me not to snap the coffee mug in half. I'm Jonah Reyes. Architect. Been living in Canyon Ridge for 6 years now. My little corner lot backs into a gravel patch I inherited from my grandfather, used to be a horse lot. 3 years ago, I leased that patch to the HOA for $1 a year so kids could run around, the community could park extra cars for events, and no one would develop over it. A handshake deal, followed by signed paperwork. At first, they were grateful. Thank you notes. Barbecue invites. Then the new board president took over. Tina Landry. If Botox had a PR team, she'd be the spokesperson. My first red flag? She started calling it our overflow lot during meetings. Our lot. That same week, I got a violation letter taped to my door. Cited for unauthorized commercial vehicle, the van my cousin Marcus parks when he visits from San Diego. Marcus is a wilderness EMT. His van is his mobile base. Solar panels, satellite Wi-Fi, full gear. The van hadn't moved in 72 hours, sure. But it wasn't leaking oil. Wasn't blocking anything. I went to the HOA office, lease copy in hand. Tina, that van was on my land. She barely looked up. It's community property once it's leased, Jonah. The board voted. That wasn't just wrong. It was made up. I left furious, and came home to find another notice. This time. A fine. $275. Nuisance vehicle. I emailed. No reply. I appealed. Denied. That van was gone, but the HOA sharks weren't done circling. A neighbor I barely knew, Carmen, from across the greenbelt, knocked on my door. They're spreading rumors, she said, eyes wide. Tina told the finance committee you're trying to rezone the gravel lot to build apartments. What? I nearly laughed. Carmen looked nervous. They're collecting signatures to dissolve your lease. I walked straight into the next board meeting. They didn't expect me. Tina tried to skip public comment. I stood anyway. That lot was never gifted. I leased it for limited use. You can't rewrite history just because you want a paved lot for your pet project. Murmurs filled the room. Tina's face went cold. Per Article 9, Section 2, she said, smirking, the HOA reserves the right to repurpose shared use lots with board majority. Knowledge nugget number 1, most HOA bylaws don't apply to land they don't own, even if they lease it. Check your parcel ID against county records. I went home and pulled every document, deed, lease, aerials from Google Earth. That's when I saw something off. 3 months ago, the HOA updated their community map on the website. My lot. Recolored in green. Listed as community overflow. No mention of the lease. No record of payment. That's not a mistake. That's a paper trail scrub. So I dug deeper. Turns out, Tina's sister owns a paving company. And the HOA had a closed-door vote, no public notice, to approve a $60,000 lot beautification project. Guess who got the contract? Landry Asphalt LLC. They were going to pave my land, then charge the community for it. That wasn't just HOA pettiness anymore. That was fraud. I took it to a real estate attorney. He raised one eyebrow and said, "You got title, lease, and no easement clause. You've got leverage." But it wasn't just the HOA now. I called the county zoning office to report the unauthorized land use. The clerk went quiet for a beat, then said, "Funny. Someone from your HOA filed a request to transfer ownership of that parcel into the association trust. I damn near dropped the phone. Filed. Not approved. But that meant someone forged intent to acquire my land without my consent. The kicker? The attached letter listed my grandfather's name. He'd been dead 6 years. Knowledge nugget number 2, if someone files a fraudulent deed transfer, report it immediately to the county recorder's office and flag your parcel ID for monitoring. It's free and may prevent title theft. Now I knew what I was up against. Tina wasn't the queen. She was a puppet. The real hand behind the curtain. Mark Jeffries. HOA treasurer. CPA. Quiet. Gray polo shirts. The kind of guy who never raised his voice, but always signed the checks. Mark had set up a land trust reserve account in the HOA's name, unlisted on the community portal. A neighbor who worked at the bank tipped me off. I pulled financials via a records request. They stalled, but legally had to respond in 10 days. When they finally sent them, page 14 showed a $12,000 consulting fee to a company called Eagle Cap Holdings. Guess who's on the LLC filing? Mark Jeffries. It was time to fire back. I created a binder with the lease agreement, the parcel ID and deed, a certified property survey, HOA's fraudulent map, the $60,000 contract to Tina's sister, Mark's LLC conflict of interest. I filed an injunction in small claims court and served the HOA. Then I made a copy of everything and emailed it to every resident in the community. Subject line: who really owns lot 17B? The fallout? Immediate. Tina stormed into my yard, voice shrill. You have no right to spread lies. It's not lies, Tina. It's county-recorded fact. Screenshot this clause and tag a friend who needs HOA armor. If an HOA alters maps or land use designations on property they don't own, they may be liable for fraud and trespassing. The next 2 weeks were chaos. 3 board members resigned. 2 neighbors showed up with shovels to remove the community parking sign from the gravel. Then came the letter. Certified. Signed by Mark. HOA will cease use of lot 17B effective immediately. But I wasn't done. I filed complaints with the State Board of Accountancy, the County Ethics Commission, the Attorney General's Real Estate Division. Carmen rallied neighbors to call a vote to dissolve the current board. On vote day, I wore my father's old navy blazer and stood quietly as ballots dropped into the box. By sunset, it was over. Tina lost by 88%. Mark was referred for audit. The van. We found it in a backlet 2 towns over. Covered in dust. $900 towing fee, paid by the HOA. Knowledge nugget number 3, tow companies cannot legally remove vehicles from private property without owner or police authorization. Always demand to see the tow request and verify property rights. In the months that followed, we renegotiated the lease, this time with a lawyer present. The lot stays gravel. Kids play soccer there again. And the HOA now has to get a 2/3 vote before spending more than $10,000. But here's the kicker. Last week, I checked my mailbox and found a plain envelope. No return address. Inside, a copy of a notarized quitclaim deed for my property. Signed, but not by me. Stamped by a notary who doesn't exist. Looks like someone's not done yet. And next week, I'll tell you about the small town where the mayor tried to seize a solar farm, and the high school girl who stopped him.